Hi everyone, this is HM&S video number 44 and you are most welcome for it. Last video we talked about the match function. Today we want to talk about the updated match function or the newer match function called the XMatch function. It works just like the match function, but it does certain things that the match function cannot do. Let's switch on to Excel and we dive deeper into how to use the XMatch function. Now I have these brief notes here, you can read through it if you want, but let's see two of them. The first one is saying the XMatch function returns the relative position of the lookup value. Just like the match function, the XMatch function also returns the relative position of the value you are looking for. Now the third one here also says the XMatch function does the exact match lookup by default. If you remember very well last video when we talked about the match function, we said the match function does approximate match lookup by default, but for XMatch it does exact match lookup by default. So you can read the rest of these notes here. Let's scroll down and we start seeing examples. Now these are the same dataset we used last video. We want to compare and contrast the two functions. I have the rank of student test example here. These are the student's name. We want to look up whoever is selected from this cell here, from this list here, and then we bring the position or the relative position on this cell here. So let's remind ourselves about the match function. With this cell selected, I'm going to do equals to match. When I see it highlighted in blue, I'm going to hit tab to select it. It has three arguments: the lookup value, the lookup array, and then the match mode. For the lookup value, we want to look up whoever is selected from this cell here, and then comma. For the lookup array, I'm going to highlight this list of students' name, and then comma. Now for the match mode, it has 1 for less than, 0 for exact match, and then -1 for greater than. Now less than and greater than, these two are used for approximate match lookup, but for this particular case here, we want exact match lookup. So I'm going to select 0 or exact match. So down arrow, tap to select 0 and it will put for me the 0 there. I'm going to close my bracket. When I hit enter, you can see it's telling me the position for Jerry is 4. So when you check your list here, Jerry is also found on the first position. Now that one is the match function. We talked a lot about it last video. So you can check HM&S video number 43. Then you will get to know more about that. Now let's jump to our function of the day, the XMatch. So I'm going to click on this cell and do equals to XMatch. When I see it highlighted in blue, I'm going to hit tab to select it. Now, this one is having more arguments than the match function. It has the lookup value, the lookup array, the match mode, and then the search mode. For the lookup value, we're going to give it the same lookup value, whoever is selected from this cell here, and then comma. The table array is going to be the same, this list of students here, and then comma. When you come to the match mode, we have 4 options here. The first one is exact match, which is done by default by XMatch function. The second one is exact match or next smaller item. Now this one is approximate match lookup, but they have just named it in a way that makes it easier to understand. Then also we have one for exact match or next larger. So we are going to see example of all of this one, including the wildcard. But what we want for this case is exact match. Now, since it does exact match lookup by default, you can leave it out and it will work very well, or you can select it. For me, I always like selecting it, most especially when I'm teaching. So I'm going to hit tab to select exact match, and then comma to go to the last argument, the search mode. Now, when you come to the search mode here, it also has 4 options. Search first to last, search last to first, the binary search when you have sorted your dataset in ascending order, and then the binary search when you have sorted your dataset in descending order. Now, search first to last is the default. That means when the XMatch function is going to search your list, it's going to start searching from the first value here. When you select search last to first, it means the XMatch function is going to start searching from the last value. Now, this search mode is also the default. You can also leave it out, or you can actually come to it when it's highlighted in blue. You hit tab to select it and it will put for you one there. So I'm going to close my bracket. Now, when I hit enter, this one works exactly like the match function because the match function also search first to last. Now here we are going to see how we can do search last to first. This is the part where the match function cannot do. So I'm going to do equals to XMatch, tap to select it. The lookup value is going to be the same, whoever is selected from this cell, then comma. The lookup array is going to be the list of our students, this one here, and then comma. When it comes to the match mode, we still want the exact match. So I'm going to hit tab to select 0 and then comma. Now for the search mode, we want search last to first. So I'm going to down arrow to go to search last to first. tap to select it, and it will put for me -1 there. So when I close my bracket and hit enter, this one is giving us the same relative position because we have only one Jerry. There's no another Jerry. But if I come here, come to this drop down arrow, and then I select Grace, you can see that we have two Grace here. The first Grace is here, and then the second Grace is here. For the match function and the XMatch function, when you are searching first to last, they are giving us the relative position of 5. That means they are picking this Grace here, which is found on the 5th position. But when you come to search last to first, it's giving us the position 9 because this second Grace here is found on the 9th position. So it's starting to search from the last one here, and it's getting the last Grace and giving us the position for the last Grace. So that's something that the match function cannot do. Just like the match function can work whether your data set is set vertically or horizontally, the XMatch function can also work. Now this one I've done it using the match function, and I've set my data set horizontal as you can see. So I'm going to hit escape. Let's see whether the XMatch function will also work. Equals to XMatch, tap to select it. The lookup value is going to be this one, comma, the table array. I'm going to highlight this table which is set horizontally, like here, comma. For search mode, I'm going to start by searching first to last, tap to select it. I'm going to close my bracket. When I hit enter, you can see it's actually working very well. Then equals to XMatch, tap to select it. The lookup value is going to be the same, comma. The table array is going to be this table which is set horizontally, comma, 0 for exact match, comma, down arrow, tap to select -1 for search last to first, close my bracket. When I hit enter, you can see it's actually working very well. Let's test. Grace, you can see it's giving us the correct answer. So whether you set your data set horizontally or vertically, it works. So let's scroll down for our second example. Now on this example, we want to see how we can actually search using the wildcard. I have the top 10 pops who reigned for 20 years and above. So here are their list. Now these are our lookup values. The first one is the full name. Then from the second one, these are wildcards. Now what I didn't show you last video is that the match function, when you use it, it can also search for wildcards like you have seen I've used it here. Now in Excel, there are 3 characters that can be used as a wildcard. We have the asterisk, the question mark, and then the tilde. Now the asterisk is a wildcard that's used to mean everything. Like for example, we want everything that starts with sent. The question mark is a wildcard that represents a single character. Like for example here, we want the name that starts with L, then followed by any character in the middle, then O, then after O, followed by anything. Then for this particular case here, the asterisk is meaning we want any name that starts with anything, and then the tilde is showing that it should end with Roman numeral 1. So any name that's ending with Roman numeral 1 is what we want. So I've used the match function here, and you can see it can also search for wildcard. But let's do the XMatch function. So I'm going to click on this cell. For this first column here, we're going to search first to last. So I'm going to do equals to XMatch, tap to select it. The lookup value is going to be these names here, and then comma. The table array is going to be the list of pops. Since I'm going to copy my formula down, I'm going to hit the F4 key to lock it, comma. Now when it comes to the match mode, we're going to use the last option here, which is the wildcard character mode. So I'm going to down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, and then tap to select 2, and then comma. For the search mode, we're going to start by searching first to last. So tap to select it. I'm going to close my bracket. When I control enter, and then I copy my formula down, you can see it's giving us the same answer as the match function because the match function also search first to last. Now let's click on this cell and we do search last to first equals to XMatch, tap to select it. The lookup value is still going to be these names here, comma. The table array, I'm going to highlight this list of names here, F4 to lock it, comma. The match mode is still going to be the wildcard, so I'm going to come to it, double click to select it, and then comma. When it comes to the search mode, this time around I want search last to first, so I'm going to down arrow, tap to select -1, I'm going to close my bracket. When I control enter, and then I copy my formula down, you can see for the second one here and the last one here, you're getting a different answer from the search first to last. So let's see. For this one here, we want anything that starts with sent. Now, when you search first to last, that means the XMatch function is going to start searching from the first one here. And you can see from the very first, we have St. Peter. and it starts with Saint and followed by Peter. That's why the match function and the XMatch function, when searching first to last, is giving us the relative position of 1. But when you are searching last to first, that means you're going to start searching from the last one. So the very last value is also starting with Saint. So that's why when you're searching last to first, it's giving us the 10 position, that is the last position. And for this particular case here, we want the one that ends with Roman numeral 1. And here we're getting 3. You can see St. John Paul II is ending with Roman numeral 1. But when you're searching last to first, you're getting 10 here, which is also St. Leo ending with Roman numeral 1. So the XMatch function can actually work very well when you're searching using wildcard. So let's scroll down and we see how we can also do approximate match lookup using XMatch function. These are also the same house price dataset that we used last video. Here we got it using the match function, as you can see. So let's see also how we can do it using the XMatch function. So I'm going to click on this cell and do equals to XMatch, tap to select it. Now if you're doing approximate match lookup using XMatch also, you need to either sort your dataset in ascending order from smallest to largest, or in descending order from largest to smallest. Now let's start with this one where we have sorted our dataset in ascending order. So the lookup value is going to be this value here, comma, the table array is going to be this dataset which is sorted in ascending order or from smallest to largest. Since I'm going to copy my formula down, I'm going to lock it using the F4 key, comma, the match mode, the first one is saying -1, which is exact match or the next smaller. You use this second one here when you have sorted your dataset in ascending order. Then the third one is saying exact match or next larger item. You use the third one here when you have sorted your dataset in descending order. Now since we have sorted our dataset here in ascending order, I'm going to use the second option here. -1, which is exact match or next smaller item. So I'm going to hit tab to select -1 and then comma. For the search mode, since we have sorted our dataset in ascending order, you need to use the binary search. 2, which is binary search sorted ascending order, is what you use when you have sorted your dataset in ascending order. Then -2 binary search sorted descending order is what you use when you have sorted your dataset in descending order. Now this dataset is sorted in ascending order, so I'm going to down arrow until I come to 2 binary search sorted ascending order. I'm going to hit tab to select it. Then I need to close my bracket. When I control enter and then I copy it down, you can see we are getting the same answer as this one. This one I've used the match function and you can see it's giving us the same answer. Now when you have set your dataset horizontally like this, the match function works well and the XMatch function also works very well. So I'm going to scroll down. Now this next example here is when you have sorted your dataset in descending order or from biggest to smallest. So I'm going to click on this cell and do equals to XMatch, tap to select it. The lookup value is still going to be this values here, comma, the lookup array is going to be our dataset which is sorted in descending order. I'm going to copy this formula down, so I'm going to lock it using the F4 key, comma. For the search mode, since I've sorted my dataset in descending order, I'm going to use the third option here, one which is exact or next larger item. So I'm going to double click to select that and it will put for me 1 there and then comma. Now for the search mode, since my dataset is sorted in descending order, I need to select the last option here which is -2, that is binary search sorted descending order. So I'm going to double click to select it. When I close my bracket and control enter, when I copy my formula down, this one is actually working very well. So on this last example here, last video we used the match function. As you can see, the match function is here to compare these two lists. Also, you can use the XMatch function, as you can see here, to compare the two lists using the same trick as we have seen last video. So that's actually the power of the match function and the XMatch function. Yeah, that is it about the XMatch function in Excel. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. And if you found this video interesting, give it a like and then you share it with your friends. This is a video where we talked about the match function. You can click on it, then you go and watch it. Until next video, HM&S video number 45, then we meet again. Thank you.